Hey everyone, Ray here again from loveyourrv.com, and today I'm going to be doing a review and a demo of a very cool product. It's a foldable bike from a company called Strida. A guy named Bill at StridaCanada.com contacted me and offered to send me out a bike for a review. So he sent me out one of his demo models, got a lot of scratch and stuff, but I want to say up front I'm going to be able to keep it. But it's not a sponsored post in any way. I just get to keep the bike after I review it. So it comes in at about, I think, 24 pounds, and it folds up into an extremely small package. So let's take a look inside and see what's in the box. Okay, there we go. Wow, that's orange. Cool. So you can see that sucker folds up into a super small package. Should be really easy to store in the RV. This one thing I'm looking for is I'd like to get a bike that I can actually store inside the RV. We have a bike rack on the back, but I had a big cruiser bike and Ann had a cruiser bike, and they really only lasted about 2 years on the back before they were getting all rusty and beat up from the sun and all the salt on the roads and stuff like that. So Ann picked herself up a new mountain bike recently, and we've been storing it in the front bedroom. So now I'm going to have myself a bike. Should be able to store it inside. Look how compact this sucker is. Whew. Okay, let's pull it out of the box. Okay, there we go. We're all unboxed, and there's a few pieces I have to attach. Comes with a bike rack. This particular model has a bike rack, and then this is goes on the seat post. So a little Allen key here to attach the stuff onto it, and then once it's attached, you can see the grooves in there. It can go up and down and adjust to different heights. It's like a nice comfy seat to go on, and this is part of the seat hardware. It's kind of a little thing you push to adjust it. So give you a little bit of a look at this thing. It's really well built. It's like it has aluminum wheels on it. It's got front and rear disc brakes. Wow, that's really cool. Looks like a really slick system. And I noticed one thing I noticed right away, it doesn't use a chain. It uses a rubber cogged belt. And a very large gear on the front. So everything unfolds on it. The actual pedals fold in and out. And the handlebars fold out. Looks like it has a really good set of brakes too. It's like a little bell or some sort. Okay, so you can see it's a little scuffed up because it's one of his demo ones, so he's nice enough to give it to me, so I said sure, I'd take a demo one, no problem. Okay, that looks really, really well built. Quite the frame on it. So these aren't cheap compared to a lot of bikes, but they sure are well built. I'm curious to see how it's going to handle my frame. I'm about 6 feet tall, getting close to 200 pounds these days, so I'm a fair load. So it's supposed to be designed with that triangle design. It's supposed to support a lot of weight. These wheels are the 16-inch size wheels. I was talking to Bill, and he said these ones are a little better if you get onto gravel and stuff. So because we boondock in the southwest, I may have to go on a little bit of a gravel roads occasionally. There is an 18-inch size that's a little bigger, so you can go a little faster with it, but it's a little harder to pedal uphill. This is a single speed model. They also have, I believe it's called their Evo model, that has 3 speeds on it, but of course a little bit more pricey. So let's see if I can get that thing together here. I've been watching the videos. If you go to his website on StridaCanada.com, I believe, I'll have links in the description notes there for you. And if you go to his site, he has a bunch of videos he's put together demoing the unit and how it comes apart, gets put together. But it's really fast, actually. It's supposed to be designed so that you can easily fold it back and even, take it into a store or something and wheel it in. So let's get to it. Okay, that was pretty easy. Look at that thing. Bizarre. What do you think, Angelina? Oh, super impressive, dude. She's bummed because she's not going to be able to go with me. Wow, look at that. That's funky looking. Okay, let's get that seat on there and give her a try. There we go, fully assembled. So I got that seat on and the bike rack. It wasn't too bad. It's not super intuitive how to put it together, but once you figure it out, then you know. There is some good online videos of the assembly there, but it's all really smart and slick and mostly done with just a single Allen key. So now it's fully adjustable. There's two heights on it for tall people and shorter people. You can move that up and down and then you get an adjustment range. But I'll go through all the features in a while. First I'm eager to take this out for a spin. So I'm going to take her for a run out on a bike path here, and then I'll come back and give you my first impressions of how I liked it. Well, I'm back from my first little ride there, and I have to say, to be honest with you, I'm really impressed. Really impressed. The thing was a lot more stable and smooth than I thought, you know, from a foldable bike. I thought it might be kind of rickety, and I thought it would be sort of difficult to ride, but no, it was nice and smooth, especially with that rubber belt. And at first the steering was a little, it took a little, you know, half a minute to get used to it, because where it is, it's right next to you. So you're kind of sitting up high and the steering's right in front of you, so it's not like a normal bike. But it didn't take long to get used to it at all. And of course, kind of getting on and off it was a little different too, but I'd quickly get used to that. So yeah, really like it so far. So let me go through all the different features on the bike. So let me quickly go through some of the features of the Strida bike. The one I have is called the Strida LT. There's also an SX and Evo. This one is a single speed. You can get the Strida in a 3-speed with a gear changer. Also the wheels. This model comes with the 16-inch wheels. There's also an 18-inch wheel, which gives you a little more speed, but it's a little harder to pedal. Up top, there's also different options for the handlebars. The ones I have, you can see how they're bent forward. That's for guys with longer kind of monkey arms like me, so it gives more space between the handlebars and your body. Slip down here, we've got the adjustable seat. So there's two positions on this seat, like I told you before, and this little adjuster here allows you to adjust it up and down as you need. On the back here we've got the carrier rack, and that comes in metal. This is the metal one. This is good for about 24 pounds. The plastic one's a little, I think about half of that. Down here we've got the big gear that turns this belt, and this is actually a Kevlar belt used a lot in automotive applications. And in the automotive applications, it's good for 50,000 miles, so that thing will last a long time. A lot of pedaling there. Front and back, we have some nice big disc brakes. There's the back ones there, and you can see the front ones in there. and they really stop the bike. And a nice thing about it is all the cabling for the brakes is hidden inside the frame, so you don't have cabling going outside your frame. It makes it really nice and sleek. And the frame itself is made of aluminum, and it's called what they call 7000 series aluminum, which is a super hard aluminum. It allows them to have a lot of strength but keep it thinner and lightweight. Same kind of aluminum they use on boat masts. Up on the brakes here, if you look on the handles, there's a strip here, and you attach that to the handle. And what that does is it locks the brakes on, so if you have it in a folded up position, you can just stand it. Maybe I'll fold it up and I'll show you how that works, along with there's some magnets on the back wheels. It's pretty cool too. Okay, folded back up. Now if I go down to the back wheels, you'll see right in between there, when they come together, there's a magnet on the hubs there. Let's just put it together. There, you hear that click? And that keeps the wheels together. And then up on the brakes here, these little straps close the brake. Now both those wheels are locked. So if I want to pick this up and say I want to lean it against something, like the RV there, now because those two wheels are locked, it's not going to just ride out, it's going to stay in place like that. So yeah, you can bring it into a restaurant or something and just put it by a table, kind of out of the way, or you can take the straps off and then you can wheel the bike around. Just put it back up on the table here. It's kind of a neat thing that happens is that rear bike rack there is a support for it. Another thing we got on this model is there's a nice little kickstand right there. Yeah, so that's about it for features. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ride this around for the next week or so, try it on all kinds of different terrain and different hills and stuff like that, and really give it a good test out, and then I'll come back with my pros and cons for you. See what I like and dislike about the Strida. Well, I've had the Strida for a week now and given it lots of good rides. So I've come up with my pros and cons list, things I like and things people might not like about the Strida that I've concluded. So let's go with the pros first. First of all, I'm really impressed with the folding action. It's simple and super quick. I can now fold it, a little bit of practice takes me under 10 seconds to fold it, same to unfold it, so that's a really good plus. Next we've got a lot of good components on it, all the components of the bike, you know, from the brake and the hand grips and the seat, everything is really top-notch, good quality. I'm really happy with that. The frame, really good frame. It's also a super lightweight bike. I think it comes in, depending on what kind of features you have on it, anywhere from like 20 to 25 pounds. Really easy to move around folded up or unfolded, easy to push if you do come to a hill or anything. It's really lightweight that way. It's a very small package, measures about 45 inches by 20 inches by 9 inches when it's folded up, so that's going to be great for the RV or just stuffing it in the truck if we're going out on a bike ride. Next thing I like is how comfortable it is to ride. Just the angle your body's at, like I sit very straight up in it, right over the pedals, so I can go for a long time and I don't get any type of sore back or anything like that, so that's a plus. Sometimes you get some of the mountain bikes, for instance, you're kind of bent over, and after a while your back starts to get a little cranky on you. Also, it's very good at starting really quick. Like the gearing on it is very low, so you can take off from the line quite quickly and get up to speed within a short while. And also, the opposite of that, you can actually stop really quick with those disc brakes that are on that. It's got a set of disc brakes comparable to a big mountain bike, but of course you're on a much lighter bike than a mountain bike, so it can stop quickly. Also, once I got used to the cornering, because it's such a narrow wheelbase, you can actually maneuver quite tight in tight corners versus a longer bike. Let's see what else. So because of that, it's also good when you're in crowds, like if you're moving through a crowded flea market or something like that. Even if you're not riding it, because it's such a small compact bike, you're not bumping into people as easily. And the handlebars, compared to a normal mountain bike or cruiser bike, they're quite narrow, so you're not running into things. You can get through narrow passageways very easily. I like that about it. Also, I just really like the design, the way they've hidden the cables and kept everything really simple. It's got a real minimalistic design. Kind of reminds me of some type of European thing, or so nowadays that type of design is really popular with iPhones and stuff like that. So it's kind of a pretty looking bike. Also, very low maintenance. There's not going to be a lot of things to maintain, especially with that rubber Kevlar chain. It's not going to attract dirt and dust. You're not going to have to oil it. Your clothes aren't going to get oily, especially if you're folding it up to go inside a restaurant or something like that. Then you don't have to worry about getting your pants, oil stains on your pants. So yeah, that's really good stuff there. Also, to do with the no grease and the rubber chain, there's not a lot of stuff to rust on this bike. A lot of it is stainless steel or aluminum. So right now my wife has a mountain bike, and even though we haven't kept it outside too much, a lot of the parts on hers are starting to rust and are going to need some attention. And finally, it's quite the conversation starter. Everybody wants to know about it. They want to see it. I like to look at their faces when I fold it up. It's kind of interesting when they see how small it actually gets. So if you're the kind of person who doesn't mind meeting people and chatting people, it's a great way to strike up a conversation. Now on to the cons. So some of these are to do with mostly because it's a folding bike and the geometry of the frame and stuff like that. Not much you could do to get around that, but I'll let you know anyway, because if you're interested in it, you're going to want to know. It can be difficult to lock up. Like regular bikes, you put it through the frame right in there, but of course this frame comes apart, so it's not a lot of places to lock it up. But I did talk to Bill at StridaCanada.com, and he had some suggestions. He says if you fold it up and then run your lock through the tires, when the tires are together, it's almost impossible to get to steal the bike unless you're really experienced at the mechanics of it. So he says that's a good way to lock it up. Also, you usually don't need to lock it up, because a lot of places you can just bring it with you. Also, with the small wheels like that, it really doesn't perform too well when you start to go off-road. Like on this path here, it wasn't too bad, but you start getting any type of bigger stones, I found it, you kind of get a little bit unstable, starts to move about sideways. There is some other wheels you can get for it. On the tires, you can get more of a spongier, wider tire for it if you do want to do some off-roading, but it's mostly best suited for paved surfaces for sure. Next, it's not really a con for me or a negative, but for some people, if you're shy and you don't really like people coming up and talking to you, it's definitely going to stand out. So people are going to come up and ask about it. Another negative is hills. This one is a single speed, so it's, you know, you can go up a hill, but if it gets super steep or super long, you only got that single speed. Even though it's a low geared, your legs get tired. I think maybe once I build my muscles up to how this bike handles, I might be able to do a little bit better. But one good thing is you can get off and it's very easy to push up the little hill, but it's definitely more of a flat terrain bike. And to do with that as well as you don't want to stand up and pedal on this. Like on another bike, if I got to a hill, I would stand up and use my body's weight to kind of go up the hill, but this gets very unstable when you try to stand on it. And same with your hands on the handlebars. You want to keep your hands on the handlebars. My old bikes, I used to kind of ride with no hands a lot of the time, with no hands on or just one hand. As soon as you start to take your hands off the handlebars, I feel a little bit unstable. So that's basically all the negatives I have for you. Let's maybe take it back to the RV and I'll show you it being stored in different places in the RV. Let these geese get back at what they're doing. Seems like there's a lot of seaweed out there for them. All these Canadian geese. Huh. Amazing. Generally when we're camped at a place, my wife pulls her mountain bike up and out of the rig and locks it up to something. So what I think I'm going to do with the Strida, since it's so compact, is usually I pull out the barbecue and the chairs, stuff like that. That'll leave me a good whack of space in the storage compartment. So I'll be able to tuck it right in there, just like this. Just like that. Wow, looks like it's meant to be there. Cool. And then once we are traveling, I'm going to store it in a different spot because I'll have to put my chairs and barbecue and everything back into my basement storage. So I'll show you where I plan to take it, where I plan to store it when we're moving. Yeah, so when we're underway, my plan is to store it in the bedroom here. Usually what we do is we bring my wife's mountain bike and she lays it down on the floor here. Since it's at the front of the rig, you don't get too much up and down motion here because it's right above the hitch. And I think I'm going to put the Strida right in this corner here. See how nicely it fits in there? Woohoo! That's compact. Yeah, so I might actually, there's a bag available for the Strida for traveling. It makes it kind of look like a set of golf clubs or something. People use it to take it on the plane and stuff like that. So I might invest in that bag, and then I won't get my, if I get the white duvet all dirty, my name will be mud. Well, I hope you enjoyed that review and helped you out if you're looking for a folding bike. If you want any more information, I've written up quite an extensive blog post, lots of more details and links out to different places to find info and stuff. So I'll leave that link in the description of the video. And yeah, one more feature that I didn't show you. That's kind of cool. Bing. Until next time, this is Ray from loveyourrv.com. Happy trails. Cheers.